Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Jason from Inspired to Juice, and today is March 26, 2012. I just want to let everybody know I'm doing really well. The weather actually started to get a little bit colder, so my bike riding has slowed down, but continuing to work out and go to the gym. I've been doing some side work for a neighbor of mine in construction, so I've been doing some work, which is really good because, could always use more money. Today, I actually found out from a friend of mine that popcorn has been found in studies to have a higher antioxidant level than most fruits and vegetables. So when I heard this, I was kind of like, really? I was like, that's kind of crazy. So, I promised her I would research it, and I did. And I actually found this news conference that's hosted by the American Chemical Society, and they interviewed two doctors. Well, actually, it's one doctor and I guess like his top student that actually conducted the research. And it's a Dr. Joe Vincent and Michael Coco. And they're from the University of Scranton. And Dr. Vincent has been doing studies on antioxidant levels found in today's foods for, I think, 10 to 15 years he's been working on this. And I think he even says it in the video, they finally got to snacks. Now, we all, coming off of a juice fast, you kind of like wonder, like, what could you have, what can't you have? And, it's really trial and error. You know that you only want to put the good stuff in. You think of popcorn, but, it's very high in fiber. And, from the new studies, it's very high in antioxidant levels. So check out the video, and I will see you after.
Hi, I'm Katie Cottingham, and welcome to this news briefing of the 243rd National Meeting and Exposition of the American Chemical Society in San Diego. Joining me today are Dr. Joe Vincent and Michael Coco from the University of Scranton. So now we will turn to Dr. Vincent, who will talk to us today about how popcorn is the snack with even higher antioxidant levels than fruits or vegetables. Dr. Vincent?
Thank you. Well, my group has been working over a period of some 10, 15 years on antioxidants in everything we eat and drink, and finally we're getting to snacks after all this time. And interestingly enough, 90% of Americans snack every day. So it's extremely common in our culture to snack. And the question is, what should we snack on? Basically, what we did was, in order to get the numbers that we ended up with, was that we did like an in vitro digestion that might happen in your stomach. And after that treatment, which we provided for our popcorn, then we've got numbers which say that popcorn is up there with fruits and vegetables. At any rate, whether you air pop it or whether you microwave pop it, you're going to get the same amount of antioxidants pretty much. So that minimal processing doesn't hurt anything. Popcorn is 100% whole grain. It's the only thing you can eat, that is 100% whole grain. Now, if you add some salt or some oil to it, then it's a little less than 100%, but certainly minimal processing for microwave or for air pop popcorn. And so it's very high in fiber. There aren't any other snacks that you can eat that are as high in fiber as popcorn. And again, it doesn't matter whether it's microwaved or air popped. You're going to still get quite a bit of fiber. One serving size of popcorn will give you approximately 25% of the daily fiber. And of course, it's all whole grain. Very few Americans eat what we should with respect to 3 servings of whole grain. So popcorn will give you whole grain when you consume it, and it's very high in antioxidants that we think will be absorbed in the body after digestion. And in addition to the fact that it's very high in fiber and antioxidants, it's very low in fat. Even microwave popcorn is much lower in fat than, say, tortilla chips or corn chips. So it's the ideal snack. It's the king of snacks.
Mike Woods from the ACS News Service. Joe, I'm wondering what microwaving and hot air popping does to the bioavailability of the polyphenols in popcorn?
Well, that's a good question, Michael. That's the kind of thing we hope to be able to answer. What popping does is, for a very brief period of time, you know, have a high temperature. And what happens in the high temperature, which is to your benefit, is that some of these bound polyphenols that are attached to the fiber that will be released. And it's equivalent to the digestion that we're doing, you know, to release the polyphenols from popcorn or anything else we studied. So in some respects, if there's no decomposition during the popping process or the processing, whatever you do, then you will get a little more free polyphenols available. And of course, those are immediately available for absorption into the body.
You mentioned that popcorn is the king of snack foods. How would you describe the popcorn that most people eat, which is popcorn cooked in oil with butter and lots of salt on it?
Microwave popcorn doesn't add a whole lot of calories, and the grams of fat is extremely low with popcorn in a serving size compared to potato chips or the other chips. So really, there's a lot of fat in those. If you look at the label, you can easily tell that. And obviously, that's part of what we like about the taste of a chip is the oily taste. But you know, the oil is not your friend on the calorie side, and obesity is our big problem here in the States.
Hi, I'm Doug Dollamore from the ACS News Service, and I have a question for Michael. Working with Dr. Vinson, I'm wondering what were some of the highs and lows of doing this research in terms of some of the difficulties that you encountered, as well as some of the surprises.
Well, as Dr. Vinson mentioned, some of the problems that we had with the homogeneity of the samples that we were measuring. So I would get originally what I was doing, I was popping the kernels and then just grinding them up with the mortar and pestle. But the problem with that was you get these really big pieces of the pericarp mixed in with the starches. So then when you would analyze it, then you get really bad precision in your numbers. So one of the things I had to figure out was how to fix this. So I decided to try separating the pericarp from the white starchy part, and that made the numbers much more better and gave a better model.
What is a pericarp?
All right, well, in the grains, you basically have three parts. You have the outside skin part, which is the pericarp. Then you have the endosperm, and then you have the starches, which provide the nutrients to help the seed germinate. So the pericarp on the popcorn is, when you're eating it, that stuff that gets stuck in your teeth, the annoying stuff. So, and that's the stuff that's all the antioxidants, for the most part, about 98% of the total antioxidants of the kernel.
So you got to eat the whole popcorn, okay? Those little pieces are the goodies.
Yes, Michael Bernstein, ACS News Service. Joe, we talked a lot about antioxidants. You also mentioned the fiber element. How would you compare popcorn in terms of fiber with the best antioxidant nuts like pistachios and walnuts?
We need more fiber. It's insoluble fibers, what's present in popcorn, and that, of course, will slow down your absorption of nutrients and everything else. It will probably inhibit glucose absorption and cholesterol, fat absorption into the body because it's there. And the other thing that one worries about with popcorn is if you have some sort of diverticulosis or diverticulitis, and doctors used to recommend, don't eat anything like popcorn. It's going to be bad for your stomach, and it's going to cause bleeding. And they did a recent study that's like an old wives' tale that's false. Popcorn doesn't have anything negative to it with respect to the digestion process. So even if you have those diseases, you can eat all the popcorn you want.
Hi, I'm Lynn Rice with the UCLA Press. And I'm just curious about, you mentioned the levels of the polyphenols and the antioxidants in popcorn being higher than that in the fruits and vegetables. But how inaccurate or accurate is that sort of comparison? I mean, when you're considering things like the fiber content or the vitamins and minerals, do you have any idea how much more of the antioxidants, Like what percentage are being absorbed in popcorn versus these other foods that you've also studied?
Well, that's a very good question. And, again, if you want a systemic effect, you've got to get it in. And as a class, because we have about 10 classes of polyphenols, the phenolic acids, which are the ingredient polyphenols in grains, including popcorn, they are one of the best absorbed polyphenols among the group. For instance, the colored compounds, the anthocyanins, which make everything pretty on the outside of fruits and vegetables, and these are extremely poorly absorbed, less than 1%. But the phenolic acids are in the teens and high 20s, I think, as a group. So if they're there, if they've made it through the digestive tract, if they've been freed up by the digestion, then they're going to get in.
Sam Lemonek again. Dr. Vinson, what differences are there between the antioxidant levels in popcorn and other corns? And if there are differences, why are there those differences?
Well, I'll let Michael do that because that's one of the slides in his presentation.
Well, compared to, say, like corn on the cob that you eat, corn on the cob probably has a little bit less, and that's because the corn on the cob has a much higher water content than the popcorn. So like popcorn, before it's popped, is only 15% water. And corn on the cob is much, much higher. So you're going to have a lot of dilution there with how much antioxidants are in corn on the cob compared to popcorn.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Vinson and Mr. Coco. And join us for our next press conference at 1 o'clock Pacific time.
Okay, so as you can see, it's pretty much, there's a pretty good conference, a lot of good information there. I know I would have never thought of it. So I'm actually gonna I actually have popcorn seeds that are in my cupboard, and they're just like the ones that you buy in the jars or in the bag, just straight seeds. And I'm actually gonna start to make them and maybe put a little bit of olive oil instead of butter, and very lightly salt it. And even with that, they say you're still gonna get almost 100% of the antioxidants. The one thing that was interesting is that the kernels, the little pieces that get stuck in your teeth, they say those are the most high density of antioxidant of the whole kernel itself. So we always usually get them stuck or spit them out. I guess we should start trying to swallow them. So, all right, that was a long video, and I think we're going to be pushing 15, 16 minutes. So as long as I get good information, I'm going to be putting them out there for you guys. So until next time, if you're juicing, juice on. If you're not, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.